What can you and I do when straight EFT doesn't seem to reduce physical or even emotional pain? In this episode of EFT Tapping Junction, you'll discover a method called the brief energy correction that you can apply when normal EFT tapping or thought field therapy tapping does not seem to help. Hello and welcome to this episode of EFT Tapping Junction. Who is this podcast for? If you use emotional freedom techniques, thought field therapy, or other meridian-based tapping methods for self-care or for helping others as a professional therapist or a coach, this show is for you. I am your host, Stephen Carter, and I am the founder of Stress Solutions, LLC, which is now Stress Solutions USA. For more than 4 decades, I've helped thousands of people release stress and enhance their emotional and physical well-being using an array of holistic methods to include, of course, EFT, TFT, NLP, meditation, hypnosis, and a range of other methods. You'll find details about my background and my work by visiting our website at stressreliefradio.com. How prevalent is chronic pain? According to the Cleveland Clinic, chronic pain is a very common condition and one of the most common reasons why someone seeks medical care. Approximately 25% of adults in the United States experience chronic pain. Looking internationally, according to the World Health Organization, it's been estimated that the prevalence of what is called headache disorder is about 50%. Half to 3/4 of adults aged 18 to 65 in the world have had headaches in the last year, and among those individuals, 30% or more have reported migraines. Can we apply EFT or other energy psychology methods to help alleviate pain, physical and emotional? Well, the answer is yes, but there is a huge but. Unless you are a licensed medical doctor, when working with clients, never claim you're treating your clients for pain, disease, or other physical issues. Unless you're a licensed psychologist or therapist, never claim you're treating a client for any psychological condition. If a client complains about chronic pain, encourage that individual to see a doctor. Unless a client has been to a doctor for pain and the client knows the source of the pain, I strongly suggest not doing any pain relief work. Helping someone who has a minor one-off headache or similar issue may be fine, but helping someone let go of chronic pain when they have not seen and have been diagnosed by a doctor is not ethical, and it is not wise for the client or for you. Claiming you can cure, prevent, or treat a recognized medical, physical, or psychological condition, if you are not licensed to treat that type of condition, is a sure road to being sued or even being charged with practicing medicine without a license. What you can do is offer to help a client release stress and muscle tension. When relieving stress and muscle tension, very often physical pain is reduced and perhaps even eliminated. With that clear understanding in mind, let's look at a study published in the International Journal of Healing and Caring. You will find links to this study and other relevant resources in the show notes of this episode. The title for this study, rapid group treatment of pain and upsets with the brief energy correction. The two researchers for this study, Robin Bilizarin and Margaret Hux, are both licensed therapists. This study was done in a conference setting with 75 people. The objective description: the brief energy correction is a technique for somatic rebalancing of neurological disorganization, usually employed when meridian tapping procedures, and these would include emotional freedom techniques, thought field therapy, and related energy psychology methods. This brief energy correction, also called BEC, are applied when energy psychology methods are not successfully reducing discomfort intensity. The rebalancing then allows the tapping to resume reducing intensity. The objective of this study was to assess preliminary efficacy of the BEC in a group setting as a solo technique in reducing physical and/or emotional pain. What were the results? 75 conference members participated. The average age was 60. 92% were female. Of those 75 participants, 39 had pain as their presenting issue. The average starting intensity on the subjective units of distress scale was 5.5 out of the 0 to 10 scale. At the end of 3 rounds, average intensity was 1.56, which is a 70% reduction for those with pain. For 28 of the participants, pain dropped below their typical pain range in this brief 90-second demonstration. Moving to the emotional pain, upsets reported by 36 participants started at an average intensity of 6.1, and at the end of 3 rounds, the average intensity was 0.9. That is an 85% reduction. The conclusion of this study: the brief energy correction is worthy of more attention both as a solo technique and in combination with other techniques in the meridian-based psychosomatic treatment world. It is simple and can be taught as a self-help tool to manage pain and upsets. It can be applied individually and in groups, and of course, as is usual for studies, further research is recommended to determine whether these results are replicatable and durable. Let's walk through the brief energy correction step by step. Begin by identifying your starting subjective units of distress rating for the selected issue. That issue can be physical or emotional. We're going to first do what's called the correction for over-energy. The correction for over-energy. You can do this standing, sitting, or even laying down. If you're standing, please be attentive to your balance because you will be crossing your ankles as you're standing. So if you have any issues with balance, I suggest doing this method when you are seated. You begin by interlacing your fingers over your solar plexus. Interlace fingers over the solar plexus. Cross feet at your ankles. If standing, be very careful about that balance. Lean against a wall or other object if that's necessary. You interlace your fingers over the solar plexus, cross your feet at your ankles, and hold that position for about 1 minute. Interlace your fingers over the lower solar plexus, cross feet at your ankles, Hold that position for about 1 minute. What you're doing is discharging excess energy in your energy system. After 1 minute of the correction for over energy, go ahead and yawn, stretch, sigh, big stretch. And it's time to do the brief energy correction procedure. To do this technique, place one hand on your navel. Place one hand on your navel. Move your other hand to the following locations on your body, holding each for just one breath. Move the other hand to the following places, holding each position for only one breath. First, both sides of the collarbone, using thumb and index finger on either side. Both sides of the collarbone, using thumb and index finger on either side. Hold that position, take a breath, and then move under the nose using the index and middle fingers. Use the index and middle fingers touching under the nose. Hold there for one breath. Next, move under the mouth using the index and middle finger. Move under the mouth using the index and middle finger. And your final position will be moving your hand behind your back with the back of your hand touching your tailbone. Touch the tailbone with the back of your hand, and your thumb will be facing upwards. Again, for the BEC technique, place one hand on your navel, move your other hand to the following places, holding each for just one breath, both sides of the collarbone, using thumb and index fingers on either side, under the nose, using index and middle finger, under the mouth, using index and middle finger, and end at the tailbone with the back of your hand touching the tailbone. Your thumb will be facing upward. I suggest doing another yawn size stretch, and now check your suds level for whatever issue you chose, and notice what's different. You will very likely have downward movement on the suds level rating after just one application of the BEC. If that is not the case, go ahead and repeat the BEC technique again, and perhaps even a third time if that's necessary. Once your suds level is near 0, perhaps 0, 1, 1.5, my recommendation is to tap a round of Choices Method EFT with a setup statement such as, I choose to release any and all physical tension and stress and feel calm and relaxed. I choose to release any and all physical tension and stress and feel calm and relaxed. This is an excellent tool to add to your tapping toolbox. I've used this personally and with clients with good success. You'll find a link to the study in the show notes. That study description also includes photographs identifying each point for applying the brief energy correction procedure. I suggest reading the study summary, and there's a video where Robin demonstrates the technique. That video will also be linked in the show notes. You can watch the video and test this technique for yourself. To hear previous episodes of EFT Tapping Junction, visit our website at stressreliefradio.com, Once on the site, select the EFT tapping junction from the podcast menu. To ensure you never miss an episode, I encourage you to subscribe or follow the EFT Tapping Junction show. You can do that in your favorite listening app. To share comments on this or any other episode, or if you would like to reach me for any reason, email me at cartermethod@gmail.com. Until our next visit together, I wish for you and your loved ones blessings in abundance.